How's it going, everyone? This is Joey. Welcome to Poker Vlog number 6. We're heading into the favorite casino in San Diego playing 2-5. I usually always vlog on Friday since I don't play the weekends, and Friday night there's a lot of action, always 2, maybe 3, 2-5 games going on. So let's get right into it. We walk into the poker room, buy in for $1,000 as usual, and I'm feeling pretty good as I walk to the table. There's like 3 action players and another couple faces that I don't recognize, and that's usually good news. It's usually just recreational players that are visiting or just jumping into poker for the heck of it. So let's get right into the first hand. First hand in, we got pocket 9s in undergun 2. Undergun 1 limps, and this is the player, the maniac, that the title is referring to. I make it $20 and get the cutoff and limper to call, so 3 ways to a flop. The flop is just beautiful, 9-5-3. So yeah, flopping top set, the nuts, and it gets better when undergun 1 leads out for $50. Pretty big size, almost pot. And I'm just going to call here. This player, again, he's super aggressive, very action. I think he could just be betting, thinking that this flop isn't good for me and just trying to take it down with nothing. There's not that many draws either. So, yeah, I don't want to raise, blocking top pair. So I call and cut off folds. So heads up to a turn. Turn is a 7. I feel like usually would feel like a brick, but against this player that limp pre-flop and then leads on a flop, I definitely think he could be doing this sometimes with 4-6, 6-8 suited. So, yeah. Anyways, just wanted to put that out there. I'm still very happy with my top set against this player, and he keeps it going. He bets $125, and yeah, once again, I'm in position. If I was out, I'd consider check raising, but we can still get value in the river if he decides to check and slow down, and I don't want all of those bluffs to just fold if I raise, so I call once again. River is amazing. It's a 7, so we have a full house. We got a second nuts. Only thing that beats us now is one combo with pocket 7s. Sadly, he checks though, and now I really don't think he has much. Maybe just some random bluff, or he was going a little crazy with middle pair. And so I decide I don't bet too big. I do the same size he did. I make it 125, and he pretty quickly folds, so we take it down. Not sure what he had there. Always nice to run good starting the session. Let's see if we could keep it going. Next time, when the cutoff with king jack off, we make it $15, and now the big line goes all in, but that is just 70, and the previous hand he lost a huge pot, so I think he could be doing this super wide. We're not going anywhere. We call. Let's see the run out. Flop comes king 7-9, so looking good. Top pair, jack kicker. Turn is a 5. River is a 6, so now any 8 has a straight, but we're good. He shows 9 deuce off for middle pair on the flop. So yeah, definitely he was wide, and we take it down. On to the next, we have ace king off in the low jack. Undergun makes it 20, and first time seeing this guy, he looks like a recreational that was limping a good amount. So definitely seems strong. Undergun raising, but yeah, we have ace king. We 3-bet to $60, and he calls. And after calling, he just has 160 behind, so a little more than pot. So let's see the flop. Flop, once again, looking great. 10-10 king, so 2 pair, ace kicker, and now he goes all in for his remaining 160. So snap calling. Let's see the run out. Let's see if we could win 3 out of 3. Turn is a 5, river is a 4, but that's not the case. But we don't lose either. He has ace king as well, and we chop it up. On to the next, we got ace 10 suited in undergun 2. Undergun 1 limps, so we make it 20, and we get the low jack and limper to call, so 3 ways to a flop. Flop comes king queen 5. What? We don't hit top pair? That's unacceptable. But when it checks to us, we can't only be betting when we hit it, and we have 4 outs to the nuts, so that's good enough. We make it $30, and they both fold, so we take it down once again. Now we're under the gun with pocket 8s. We make it 15, and only the big blind calls, and this is the maniac. If you noticed, every hand I'm playing, this maniac is involved. And that's why, if there's a very action player, it changes the dynamic so much of the game because they have such a wide calling range. They're going to be the ones involved in almost every single hand. So he's definitely making this game better. And thankfully, he's to our right, making us be in the best spot of the table. So yeah, let's see a flop. Flop comes ace 6-4. He checks, and yeah, there's an overcard to a pair, but we can get value from 6s, from 4s, from flush draws, from straight draws, from gut shots, from worst pocket pairs, and this player is going to be calling with all of those. So we see bet for $15, and see the bad news when he check raises us to 70. And I'm not liking this spot. Sure, he could have a draw that we're beating, but I don't like my hand of a bluff catcher. Truthfully, I'd prefer having a 6 or a 4, because if he's doing this for value, whatever's beating 4s and 6s are beating 8s as well. And at least like that, we'd be blocking 2 pairs or sets. So with that in mind, I do decide to fold, so we'll never know. I want you guys to guess who's the villain in this next hand. Yep, the maniac. He makes it 25 in the low jack, and we're in a hijack with pocket queens. Looks pretty strong. He usually limps, and it's on a bigger size, that bet. But yeah, we're not folding, we're not calling. We 3-bet to $75, and only he calls, so heads up to a flop. Flop comes 6, 7, jack, 2 diamonds. It checks to us, and we c-bet for $75, and he pretty quickly calls. Turn is a king, so that is an overcard 2-off pocket pair. Not loving it. And I don't like it for various reasons. One, if he hit the board or he has some weaker pocket pair, it'll be harder to get 3 streets of value, even though this player is very sticky. And maybe he floats with some kings because, again, he's very sticky, or he has a king high flush draw. So all that considered, when he checks, I decided to check back as well. And another reason, he's very aggressive. So if he does have a flush draw and he misses on a river, I wouldn't be surprised if he turns it into a bluff. So even against flush draws, I think I could get value sometimes on the river. So yeah, we both check. Let's see a river. River is another horrible card, a deuce of diamonds, so the flush gets there as well. And he bets $245. So yeah, not liking this spot at all. I'd consider always folding here against most players, but this player, I played with him already a good amount of time, and he's bluffed me before, and other people with the most random hands. So even though I can't find too many bluffs, I know he has plenty in his range. And yeah, I think just some people earn an image that you just gotta pay him off. So that's what I do. I call, and he shows us the bad news when he shows ace-9 suited for the nuts. Even though we had a great start, now in the red, so let's try to turn around with ace-9 off in the big blind. Under the gun limp, so does low jack, and I'm happy to see a free flop, so I check. Flop comes king, jack, jack, so yeah, not much going on for us, so I check, and it checks around. Turn is a 6, now it checks to the button, and he bets $20, and I play with this player a lot. He's pretty tight, but he pulls off some bluffs here and there, and I think he's always betting a king and a jack on the flop. But truthfully, I have another person left to talk, and he's betting more than the pot, even though the pot is really small. So this should just be a fold, but I got really sticky. I wasn't believing him, so I do call, and luckily under the gun fold, so heads up to a river. River is a 4. I check, he bets $35, and yeah, I'm not calling the turn to fold the river. I call, and he shows pocket 6s for a turn full house. So yeah, my ace high isn't good, but hey, at least I was right. He didn't have a king or a jack, you know, that's something. Our stack is going the wrong direction. We need to focus and try to stop the bleeding. What helps? Pocket kings in the low jack. Under the gun 1 makes it 15. He's a pretty old man coffee. I 3-bet him to 45. It folds back to him, and he 4-bets us to 120. And like against any other player, I'd be pretty happy. But I don't know what this guy's 4-bet range is apart from pocket aces. So I'm not liking his spot. But of course, I'm not folding with pocket kings. I call. Now I'm just praying for a king or an ace so I could just have an easy fold on the flop. But that's not the case. It comes jack, 7, 4. Now he bets 225, and oh man, like god damn it, when old man coffee gets so aggressive, it just smells like aces. But maybe, you know, I'm a younger guy. Maybe he thinks I'm pretty aggressive. I've been losing, so I don't have the best image. So maybe he's doing this with queens as well, or ace king and just is betting the flop, trying to take it down. I don't know. I can't find a fold yet, so I call. Turn is another jack, and he just snap bets $500 with about 150 behind, and he did in such a way as if it didn't matter what the turn was. He was doing that every single time, and I don't think queens are doing that because he must be kind of worried, at least, right, that I have kings or aces that could just be calling against a 4-bet. And yeah, I just tanked for a while. Am I really going to fold pocket kings here? But I just felt like obviously he has aces, right? This old man coffee, and just betting 500 on the turn straight up with no worries. He was obviously doing it on any turn. Just felt so strong. And yeah, I'd be so mad with myself if I call and he shows aces. So I do end up finding a super tight fold, and I instantly feel better when he shows pocket aces. One of the reasons he shows is because you have promotions in this casino with aces or full houses, all that stuff.
I knew that.
After that hand, we go card dead for about an hour, down 650. That's not that much for action 2-5, but we were up 400 to begin with. So yeah, 1,000 downswing. Let's focus. We are feeling good. Let's try to break even or squeeze in a profit. We still have time. Let's do it. We finally looked down at a good hand, ace jack suited in under the gun 1, under the gun limps, we make it $20 and get the hijack, big blind, and under the gun to call, so 4 ways to a flop. Flop is pretty good, 5 queen 4, so we have the nut flush draw and a backdoor straight draw. It checks to us, we see bet for $40 and everybody folds. Small pot, but after losing hand after hand and being card dead, it still feels great. Let's keep it going. We now see an upgrade with ace queen suited in the button. Under the gun 1 limps. The maniac in the cutoff makes it $10. That is super small. I'm always 3-betting here. Let's do it. $50. And I'm surprised when under the gun 1 calls. And of course the maniac. So 3 ways to a flop. Flop comes 7-4 deuce, so we don't hit, but we have a backdoor flush draw, 2 overcards, and it's a pretty dry board. And if I c-bet here, we'll get a lot of folds. So when it checks to us, we c-bet for $50, and surprise when they both call. Turn came a jack that doesn't help our hand, but felt like a great card to barrel on since I don't think they should have any jacks themselves that call the flop. And if I bet here again, I'll look so strong. I 3-bet pre-flop. I bet the flop against 2 people and they both called. Barreling here, I think it just likes aces, kings, and queens. And I don't think they're floating that much with hands that have a jack. And I think that is set. They'd be check raising a lot on the flop. So we're not going to break even by checking. We bet 150. Thankfully, under the gun 1 does find a fold, but the maniac in the cutoff calls. So let's see a river. River is the king, so we have ace high. He checks to us, and this player, anybody would tell you that knows this guy, don't try to bluff him. He calls down with the weakest hands, so he should be one of those guys you never bluff and just go super thin for value. But we have ace high, and I know that's not good after he calls twice. And just the king is such a good card. I would have checked back and gave up anything else. Of course, the ace or queen, I would have gone for value. But any other river, I'm giving up. But really, it's just the perfect river to bluff on. But I'm just thinking, I bluff here. I'm going to be down over $1,000 and I'm close to the end of the session. Do I really want to do that? Let's do it. I just can't give up this chance. I bet $400 against the maniac that hates to fold, and I instantly feel relieved as he starts getting upset about the king and complaining, and he folds. So we bluff the guy that hates to fold. I'll probably never bluff him again because I think it's a losing play trying to bluff this guy, but thankfully it worked this time. Now we're feeling pretty great. It's always a good adrenaline rush to get a big bluff through. And we feel even better. We're looking at pocket aces under the gun 1. We make it $15. Hijack calls. And now small blind 3 bets to 60. Let's build a pot. We 4-bet to 175. It folds to him and he tanks. And all I'm thinking is, please 5-bet. Get me into the green. Go do it. But sadly, he doesn't. He folds. But we take a little something pre-flop. Can't complain. All right, for the last hand of the session, let's battle once again against the maniac. He limps under the gun, and we have pocket 8s in under the gun 1. We make it 20, and it folds back to him, and he calls, so heads up to a flop. Flop comes queen 7-5, so very similar situation. Previously, we had pocket 8s against him, so for the same reasons, when he checks, I bet 25. Thankfully, he doesn't raise this time, he just calls. Turn is a deuce. He checks, and let's go thin. As I said, I think it's very sticky, and there's still all the draws. I bet $50. And once again, he calls. River is a pretty bad card. It's a 5, so now the flushes get there, and bottom pair that I definitely think he could have gets there as well. So thankfully he checks. I definitely was expecting him to lead a good amount of times on this card. Very happy to check back, and we are good against pocket 3s. And with that, we end our session on a good note. Definitely a roller coaster from being up 400 to down 600 to grinding our way back. Let's rack up, cash out, and see how we ended up doing. All right, guys, we are home. Pretty good session. It's funny because these are one of the sessions that I lost them down 160, but I feel like it was a win because I could have lost so much more. I was down 650 at a point right after the kings against the aces that I felt like I lost the minimum, that I got a fold on that turn. I'm pretty proud with myself because I feel like usually that you always got a call, but just the way he acted, that player, I just think he only has aces there. And thankfully, he showed. And that's because at this casino, you get promotions with aces. So if he wouldn't have shown, I knew I was beat. That would have been rough. If he just mucked, I'm like, if he mucks, he doesn't have aces. So thankfully, he did. And I do think the way he played, it just always is that. So yeah, and happy about bluffing that guy. I really think I would have never tried to bluff this guy because he's probably the stickiest player that I've played against. So I never thought I would have tried to bluff him before. But yeah, that river just felt way too good to not try, and I knew he probably hit the board somehow after calling twice. So yeah, that king was just, and any other river, of course, unless it's ace or queen, but that's his value. But any other river, I wouldn't have tried to bluff. But that king was just too good not to try. And yeah, so we were in for 1600, and we were out for, I'll just write it here. I just know we're down 140. I'm really tired. So, oh, wait, that's where we're out. No, I'm not going to try. I'll just put it all here. And so thank you guys for watching. Every Sunday, new vlogs. I got this new phone, so I hope you can notice the improvement in quality. That other phone was so bad. It was just crashing on me, and yeah, just the quality wasn't the best. So I'm happy with this investment because I really want to improve the quality. Every new vlog, I'm trying to make it better and better. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for the support. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about any play I made. Like, subscribe. I'm trying to hit those 3,000 hours of viewed on YouTube to be able to start monetizing. Because I mean, the goal of this, just to share more, is to improve my hourly. Because I have my hourly that I have that averaged out playing 2-5, and there's no bigger games in any place around where I live. So I'm capped to this game right now. So making vlogs, making content is just a way to try to improve my hourly, make more money an hour without having to go up in stakes. So yeah, the goal is to monetize and we'll get there. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I vlog every single Sunday, so make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys next Sunday.